let's talk about books that I got during the month of August. So hello my fellow fantasy book lovers and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi and welcome. My name is Kathy, I'm a goth girl from Belgium who loves to read fantasy books. In today's video I'm going to very quickly and shortly go through all of the books that I got during the month of August. And if you hear my voice fading a little bit, I woke up with a sore throat. I've been drinking tea to soothe it a little bit, but it might be on and off a little bit. It's the season for it. It's early September. We're, I think, all having little bit of respiratory issues because it's been very hot and then cold and hot and then cold, and yeah, it eventually happens. So I have a pile of books next to me, so I'm just quickly going to grab some books and show them to you. The first one that I picked up is actually Long Live Evil. This was my Fairyloot subscription for the month of August, and I actually switched the cover of the book to the alternate version because I just prefer it. I think the other cover looks too much like the normal book, the original book, and I like to have something a little bit more different, and I also just really love the stained glass effect. And as per usual, there's also gorgeous art on the inside of the book. And we also got this little card with it. So it is the August 2024 Villains Assemble Adult Box by Fairyloot. The book is Long Live Evil by Sarah Rees Brennan. Desperate for a second chance at life, Ray makes a daring bargain to live within her favorite fantasy book, only to find herself as the villainess. Now she must lead a band of misfits to rewrite their fates, even as the alluring Emperor's wrath threatens to destroy them all. So yeah, I am really excited to read this book. I was actually looking at getting this book when it released in another version, but thanks to the Instagram account that posts which book will be featured based upon the hints that Fairyloot etc. drop, I knew that this was going to be in my subscription, so I didn't purchase another copy, as I sometimes have done in the past. Up next, I have a few books by indie authors, and you might see these and you're like, what is that? Is it in Dutch? Yes, one of the books actually is in Dutch. We went to Castlefest, which is kind of a Ren Fair type situation in the Netherlands, near Amsterdam, and they also had a full alley of authors, and I just looked at it to see if there's anything that sparked my interest, and of course there was. Now, I don't usually read in Dutch, so if there's only Dutch available and I really want to read a book, I will buy it, but most of the time the books don't appeal to me enough to buy it in Dutch. So the fact that I have one of these books in Dutch with me says a lot about how I felt about the author. So I'm gonna start with one of the authors who translated one of their novellas to English. It is Pitch Black Heart by Sophia Drenth, and this is vampire based. So that's the reason why I got this, and there's an entire book series about the story that this teases to or is part of. So if I like it, I might be buying the books in Dutch to read them. However, I'm not sure if I will. And I completely understand that it is super expensive to have your books translated, but I feel for me, I just prefer reading in English, and this unfortunately means that I don't read a lot from the local authors here. Jan escapes from the bonds of slavery and sets out to find the night crawlers. He needs their ability to take on any shape he wishes. Changing into a gruesome monster will finally make him strong enough to free his family. But Habu, the twisted god, has something special in mind for the young man. And then I will quickly show you the book that got me pulled into this author's stand. It is this one. It's gorgeous purple. The dagger on it is beautiful. It is called Schaduw Dagger, so in Dutch Schaduw Dolk, by Patty van Delft. And this is basically about dark magic. I haven't read the book yet. I haven't read into the contents of the book that much yet, but it just looked beautiful. And it was actually next to this series, which is a dragon-based fantasy series. Now, she is currently translating one of the books. So this book is a prequel, if I'm not mistaken, to the trilogy that she has in Dutch. And if this does well, she might be able to translate her other books to English as well. So, An Unbreakable Bond. The dragons have fled from the outer world, but their new home is being torn apart by the war within the Morbids. In desperation, they join forces with humanity to resist their mutual enemy. The adventurous Fenica Drakena lives with her family in Castle Silverfang. They are one of the most powerful families in the world, and Fenica has been raised in preparation of becoming lady of the castle and rule over the adjoining estates. But she has grown to hate the life reserved for her and rebels against her parents. When Fenica is chosen by Danalet, a green dragon, she grasps her chance to escape the Draginamare and live her life free of responsibilities. But dragon knights also have responsibilities, duties indeed, and when these collide with her family loyalties, she finds herself faced with an almost impossible decision. And I also got this little extra short story with it that takes place in the same realms. So since I love dragons, fantasy, dark magic, I thought that this author could be a very good match for me, and I will keep you updated once I read these. The next book I technically didn't buy, but got gifted by a friend. She actually got this book for free in a give a book, take a book library type situation. We also have one next to our home in which I regularly put books that I will not read again and that I don't really feel like selling because of the condition that they're in. So this one is called Reckless. It is by Cornelia Funke. Through a Mirror is a Dangerous World. For years, Jacob Reckless has enjoyed its secrets and treasures. Not anymore. His younger brother has followed him. Now dark magic will turn the boy to beast, break the heart of the girl he loves, and cause chaos to rule forever. Unless Jacob can find a way to save them. It's time he lived up to his name. So I think this is a children or YA book even, which doesn't really bother me too much. But I'm going to keep myself hopefully accountable that if I don't read this within 6 months, I'm going to put it in the share library that we have very close to my home. And if I read it, I will also afterwards donate it back to one of those little libraries. So I'm not going to keep this book, but I still wanted to include it in a haul so I remembered that I have it. Up next, we have 2 books that I actually bought secondhand off of Vinted. If you don't know Vinted yet, Vinted is a second-hand platform here in Belgium. I think in the United States, the comparable platform is Depop. So you actually have a lot of people selling their things on there. It started with clothing, but then recently books have been added to it. And I've been able to find a lot of books there for very cheap. So the first book is Blood Heir by Amélie Wen Zhao. This is the Illumicrate special edition signed by the author. So we're going to quickly read the synopsis. In the Cerulean Empire, affinities are reviled. Their varied gifts to control the world around them are unnatural, dangerous, and Anastasia Mikhailov, the crown princess, has a terrifying secret. Her deadly affinity to blood is her curse and the reason she has lived her life hidden behind palace walls. When Anna's father, the emperor, is murdered, her world is shattered. Framed as his killer, Anna must flee the palace to save her life. And to clear her name, she must find her father's murderer on her own. But the Cerulia beyond the palace walls is different from the one she thought she knew. Corruption rules the land and a greater conspiracy is at work. One that threatens the very balance of her world. And there is only one person corrupt enough to help Anna get to its core. Ramzan Quicktongue. A cunning crime lord of the Cerulean underworld. Ramzan has sinister plans, though he might have met his match in Anna, because in this story, the princess might be the most dangerous player of all. And honestly, when I saw this book, I saw the cover art, I saw the spray painted edges, and I was like, this seems interesting. So I'm very curious to how it reads and what it is actually like. And then the second book that I got from the same seller is a book that I wasn't actively looking for, but when I was making a basket and I saw that if I combined 2 books, then my price would be even lower, I just got it. This is called The Devouring Gray. It has a very gorgeous shimmery cover. I'm not sure if this is a special edition or not, but it is very pretty. Branches and stones, daggers and bones, they locked the beast away. After the death of her sister, 17-year-old Violet Saunders finds herself dragged to the Four Pots, New York. Violet may be a newcomer, but she soon learns her mother isn't. They belong to one of the revered founding families of the town, where stone bells hang above every doorway and danger lurks in the depths of the woods. For generations, Justin Hawthorne's bloodline has protected 4 paths from the Grey, a lifeless dimension that imprisons a brutal monster. After Justin fails to inherit his family's powers, his mother is determined to keep his humiliation a secret. But Justin can't let go of the future he was promised and the town he swore to protect. Ever since Harper Carlisle lost her hand to an accident that left her stranded in the Grey 4 days, she has vowed revenge on the person who abandoned her, Justin Hawthorne. There are ripples of dissent in 4 paths, and Harper seizes an opportunity to take down the Hawthornes and change her destiny. To what extent, even she doesn't yet know. The Grey is growing stronger every day, and its victims are piling up. When Violet accidentally unleashes the monster, all 3 must band together with other founders to unearth the dark truths behind their family's abilities before the Grey devours them all. So this is a YA dark fantasy, and it is perfect for those like spooky dark fall reads for me. And then the final book is the only book that I actually bought new. This was one of the books that I actually wanted to buy as an EPUB but wasn't able to. So I just bought the physical version. It is called The Fairy Guild Trials by G.L. Preston. And this is one of those books that was actually teased to me on TikTok. So I found it through TikTok, hence why I have this paperback version of it. Apparently in this series, the female main character is like this strong badass and the male main character needs to be saved constantly. So this is something that seemed funny for me, and it is fairy based. So let's quickly try and read the back, shall we? Run with the Shadows. Effia Matonwi, the last Grey, is thrust into the treacherous trials of the Seelie and Unseelie courts, wielding the rare power to control shadows. As she faces ruthless foes and navigates the cutthroat fairy politics, Effia discovers an unexpected ally in Ansel, a mysterious fae with secrets of his own. In a contest where every decision could be her last, Effia's journey unfolds in a dance of danger and intrigue. Shadows cling to her every move, revealing hidden dangers whilst unlocking the secrets of her family. As the realm teeters on the edge of chaos, Effia must choose her path wisely. Will she conquer the trials and emerge triumphant, or will the enemies that surround her become her undoing? In a world where survival is a deadly game, alliances will crumble and the realm's destiny hangs in the balance. So this was the final book that I got during the month of August. For the month of September, I might actually be having 2 haul videos. I'm actually going to Waterstones this Thursday, and I am allowed to record in store and actually record my conversation and the tips that Emily gives me, so I'm super excited for that. So there might be a separate Waterstones vlog and haul video, but then of course there is a very big possibility that I still will be buying books during the month of September, so I think I might be splitting the haul into 2 parts, like the Waterstones part and then the other books that I got. If you've read any of these books before, feel free to let me know what you thought about them. And of course, if you've picked up any new books that you want to share with me, feel free to do so in the comment section as well. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you'd like to be, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I make new videos every week and I would love to have you for every single one of them. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!